So we're going to be looking at how to identify outliers using Excel. So to identify our outliers, I have this data set with me to do with taxes. So we've got our direct tax, company tax, mining company tax, payee, withholding taxes and others, and mineral royalty tax. And we have all these taxes for the years from 2018 to 2022. Now, for you to be able to come up with your outliers, you will need your quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, and your interquartile range. So, to begin with, let's go to our quartile 1 for our direct taxes. Oh, and in case you don't have any data set you can use this data set that I have here. So you can just type it in before starting. You can just type it in so that it can make your work easier for you. So our quartile 1 is going to be equal to inc quartile. We're going to have our quartile inc. Then our data range will be from 2018 to 2022 for direct taxes, by the way. Then comma, we're looking at the first quartile, so it's going to be this. Then you're going to close it off, and there we have it. So the formula has been dragged to all these other taxes, but pertaining to their years, their range, the years they're looking at, which is 2018 to 2022. So company tax has a quartile 1 of that. Mineral royalty tax has got a quartile 1 of that. So quartile 2 is going to be equal to quartile dot inc. Since we're still looking at direct taxes 2018 to 2022. Oh, sorry, I just missed one thing in my formula. So let me just start it all over again. So we're saying our table array or our range is 2018 to 2022, comma, we are looking at the second quartile this time around, comma, oh, that's it. There we have it. This is our median for direct taxes, company tax, all those other ones, because the formula has been dragged down to the rest of the cells. So quartile 3 is going to be equal to quartile.inc. Our table array or data range is this, then we're gonna have our third quartile here. So after selecting your range, comma, it just shows you which quartile you're looking at. So in this case we're looking at the third quartile, also known as the 75th percentile. We're gonna close it. There we have it. We've got our Q1, Q2, Q3 for all the taxes we are looking at in this case. So interquartile range is going to be basically equal to the Q3, in this case direct taxes, minus the Q1. So that becomes our interquartile range. So now we can move on to the lower bound and the upper bound. So for our lower bound, it's going to be equal to 1.5. Oh, sorry, it's going to be equal to our quartile 1, in this case we're looking at direct taxes, minus the multiplication of 1.5 times our interquartile range which we found. So you just have to put it in brackets like that, right? And there you have it. We've got our lower bound here. So now we can move on to our upper bound. So our upper bound is basically going to be equal to Q3, right, plus our Q3 plus 1.5 times the interquartile range that we have. So these formulas are applying to each and every tax because I've got an automated type of thing. So you can also do the same. I'm sure you know how to do it. So that is how you go about the quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, interquartile range, lower bound and upper bound. So now that we've got all these vital. So now that we've got all these vital things we need for identifying our outliers, we can go on to our outliers. So for the outliers, we'll start with the outline. We'll start with the outliers for direct taxes. So the rows are looking at the outliers for that particular tax and in which year you actually had an outlier. So in this case, outlier 2018, the formula is going to be equal to if, right? Then you have your or. So it's going to be equal to, since direct taxes in 2018, since looking at the outliers here, they're looking at the outliers for each tax you're looking at in the year that you're looking at. So in this case, we're going to start with 2018 just to identify if there's any outlier in 2018 for direct tax. So or it's going to be equal to, since the direct tax in 2018 is conforming to cell B2, it's going to be equal to B2. We're saying if B2 is less than our lower bound, which is cell K2, and always look your lower bound and upper bound when dealing with outliers. So if B2 is less than our outlier, which is, if B2 is less than our lower bound, which is K2, so you look cell K2, it's going to be equal to that. We are saying, or B2 is greater than our upper bound, which is cell L2. So you look your cell L2, right? Then you close it off, comma. If this is true, show us the outlier in 2018 to do with direct taxes. So we'll say display 2018. You just click on it, you type in the cell. So it's gonna be comma. If this is not true, we're saying show a blank cell. Then you close it off. There you have it. You've got your outlier. So we can just clear this content for now. So yeah, it looks like in 2018, in terms of the direct taxes, there was actually an outlier, because if you look at this 333.5, it is greater than 61.4, which is our lower bound, but yet it is greater than our upper bound. That makes it an outlier because it's supposed to be within the range of 61.4 and 133, but in this case it's shooting above 133, which is our upper bound. So that makes it an outlier. So now to find out if there were any outliers in the following years to do with the direct taxes, we'll just drag to the right. So it's like there's actually no outlier in 2019, 2020, 2021, no 2022 to do with our direct taxes. So now we can move on to our company tax. So for company tax, same concept, it's going to be equal to if or, okay, so we're saying if this company tax, which is in cell B3, right, is less than our lower bound, which is in cell L3, lower bound, sorry, is K3, so we'll look our K3 in this case. So it's gonna be this. Sorry about that notification, my apologies. So we're going to look cell K3 because that's our lower bound for company taxes, comma, if this cell B3 is greater than cell L3, which is our upper bound, right? Cell L3, we are saying, you close it off, comma, if this is true, display the company tax in 2018 to do with the company tax in 2018 if it's an outlier. Then if this is false, we're saying display a blank cell. Then you close it off. So it looks like we actually don't have any outlier in 2018 to do with company taxes. So you just drag it to the right to find out if there are any outliers in the following years. So in this case, we don't have any outliers to do with company taxes. Okay, so so now that we've identified our outliers for, or I mean, now that we've covered our direct taxes and company taxes to find out if there are any outliers, we can move on to the next ones. So in this case, I'll skip some of them so that I can just show you another one of the taxes that might have an outlier. In fact, now that you get the concept of identifying outliers, um, I'm now tasking you with identifying outliers for the rest of the taxes that we have here. So, thank you so much for taking your time to watch my video. God bless you, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, we are done.